These.
You're joking.
Yes, one more video.
Not another one?
Because we've already memed about it, blogged about it, vlogged about it, hosted webinars on this topic. So what's one more video really going to do?
Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
But it's a completely different topic, and some may not have seen the very first video that we did about data sharing within the European Union. Today's video is about the VIES portal, or VIES, or VIES. I'm actually not even sure how to say it anymore. And specifically, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
When that's not quite the conclusion, but besides not knowing how to say it, these, VIES, VIES, nobody even remembers what it actually stands for.
Like Morley?
No, I mean like the letters, Jonah.
What does IBM stand for? Nothing. It just sounds professional.
VAT Information Exchange System is an EU portal which allows companies to validate tax numbers and confirm whether or not a counterparty is properly registered to conduct cross-border trade within the European Union. And before attacking this portal with everything that's wrong with it, let's give credit where credit is due. It covers 27 jurisdictions with one portal. It has a simple and easy to use UI. It does have a simple API. There is no CAPTCHA. There are no SMS two-factor authentication verifications before you can validate a number. It is self-serve. You can automate this thing yourself. You can program it to run validations in batch with some limitations. The latency is reasonable. The most important thing, it's free. And if we were to stop right there and give a conclusion, it would be that it is by far the best government portal available today, simply because of its coverage and ease of use. Okay, and now that the diplomatic formalities are out of the way,
let the attack begin.
Number one, it's the incomplete information. If you're using this portal to definitively validate whether or not somebody's VAT registered or not, you must be surely aware that that's not possible through VIES.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What I mean, Jennifer, is that it doesn't have access to all the complete information from the European governments. It is only there to confirm whether or not somebody is properly registered to conduct cross-border trade within the European Union. As such, there are countries where the information that somebody's registered but hasn't declared themselves to be conducting intra-EU trade, their number will not appear on the VIES. Number two, high downtime. VIES is down a lot, and for some countries, more often than others, relying exclusively on VIES for checkout and onboarding type functionalities is pretty much impossible. You're going to have to include some tricks in order to circumvent the downtimes, but also include a monitoring service within your tools so that essentially monitors VIES for downtimes.
You need to be scouring this website.
Number three, it lacks really providing the detailed information that you need. There are some countries within the VIES that don't provide any more information than confirming that a number exists. That really doesn't help you much with anti-fraud. Countries literally do not return anything more than the number is valid. And you can't really know who your counterparty really is and whether they've provided their own VAT number. Number four, there is no auto-formatting in VIES. That means that you have to enter the number into the system exactly as intended. If you put the wrong dot, dash, slash, backspace, space prefix where it doesn't belong, the site can be unforgiving, even for these very common types of errors. But the good thing is that this essentially relies on the quality of your master data. And these days, who doesn't have perfect master data anyway, right? Number five is that there's no inbuilt fuzzy matching or no anti-fraud logic. So if you need to compare the information that's been surfaced by VIES to that is available on your system, you're going to have to build that logic yourself using either Guth or Levenstein. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Hello? Yeah, my name's Alexander Kobachidze.
Have you got a shorter name?
Yeah, my colleagues call me Eiko.
What?
Eiko.
Kono?
No, not Kono. Eiko.
How do you spell that?
A-K-N.
K-O-N-O. Okay, well that's good. Kono.
No, Eiko. Hello? Put very bluntly, VIES doesn't cover the use cases that have emerged over the past decade. It doesn't cover accounts payable if you want to know whether or not somebody's registered for VAT. It doesn't cover accounts receivable for services. It doesn't cover the OSS registrations. It doesn't, of course, cover DAC 7.
I love it. I mean, I'm so passionate about it, and it's what I do.
Your passion
all the time.
You see, folks, even Kim has turned around since the first video was published. Long story short, in order to cover the existing and new use cases that have emerged, you need to have additional integrations. Without them, you really can't rely on VIES in Europe. I know some of you are thinking, okay, Kono, you've painted the problem, but what about the solutions? The good news is that there is a solution on the market, but the bad news is that I am far too modest in order to plug it so shamelessly across over here.
That's why we built Lookup. Want to know more? Book a demo today.
In conclusion, the VIS portal, while it is still by far the best intergovernmental portal simply by its ease of use and coverage, it is in a desperate need of an update, and that's because it no longer covers the use cases it was originally built for. It doesn't cover the use cases that have emerged since over the past decade, since about 2015. And now I'm going to leave you with Jackie Chan's thoughts on the VIS portal.
Good God, y'all! What is